You never know where I'm
I
gonna
almost
go.
counted the fucking towels on that damn cart.
Oh, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday night, so it's time to get back into it. We are talking about the penultimate episode tonight of Moon Knight. Going to be getting it in episode 5, The Asylum. And oh, what did we think about this one, Fourth Persona?
Man, at one point I'm like, okay, I think I know what this show's about, and then I'm like, maybe I don't know what the hell this show's damn about. One moment I thought, okay, so now I got an answer here. Wait a minute, this ain't the right answer. What's going on here? Like, yo, this episode remind me so much of Legion, and I cannot wait to rewatch that series when I get a chance.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to be getting into that one. I know it's a lot of people's favorite, and yeah, I'm definitely down to do that. Seen that series, the first 2 seasons, but not the third. What's up, AK? What are we thinking about all this Moon Knight madness?
I'm just gonna say I told y'all so. I told you when you was trying to tell me whose body it was. I told y'all.
Yeah,
Like I
you're right
listen.
about that. You're right about that.
Yep, I know they had us all trying to think that Steven was the alpha, and nope, it's Mark that's been the alpha the entire time.
Indeed.
They finally laid it out
I
for us.
think there's an interesting tie-in with the colors of their clothes also
Oh yeah,
to
absolutely,
show
dark
like
and white.
who was the alter. Yeah, Steven
And
was
we
the shadow, so he had the darker colors.
and we've had like hints dropped all throughout. Like that's why, like when Khonshu knew he was going away, he told Steven to tell Mark to free him. And we're all thinking it's because he's going to have to break in and go like assassin to free him. But I think it's because Khonshu is just another personality in his mind, and that Mark's the alpha, so it's going to take Mark to free him. I think that's what they're talking about.
How would you explain the other gods? And because it's this show, let's even leave the Egyptian gods out that are in the pantheon there. How would you explain Bast
Boss,
from Black Panther? She's real.
because he's seen the movie, and it's all in his mind.
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm telling you.
That is the most flimsy excuse.
Oh no, this is all in his mind. He can put in all the details he wants. But this is Moon Knight episode 5 called The Asylum, and we open with everybody screaming and us not knowing which scenes, if any, are the actual reality. And I kind of love how they're keeping us guessing with all this to what's really going on. I mean, this is just madness, fandom.
It is, damn it. At one point, I'm like, is he screaming or is he waving at that damn hippopotamus?
I caught
It's
that
so hard
too.
to do. What's
And
that?
it's Steve. I said I caught that too. What Phantom just said, and it's Steven. So you really don't know. He legit was probably doing both.
Just trying to be polite. It's so hard to distinguish if like Harrow's really a doctor or just messing with Mark's mind. Like I kind of keep going back to that conversation that Steven had with the little girl in the museum. Like I think Mark really is half dead, kind of wavering here in the afterlife right now. That's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
where I think this show is going. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, Tawara tells us that.
Well, that's what she says, but is Twart real, or again, is that just in Steven's mind?
Oddly enough, both.
Steven said to that little girl, "Well, I'm not dead, am I?" And she never did get a chance to answer. So I think that's kind of letting us know that he's absolutely kind of dead, and like one way or the other. And when we see Mark, he has like a bandage on his nose, and I think that's Scotty. Like Harold says, he's been starting fake fights. Like, is that true? Like, and Mark is like hitting himself, or like the orderly's beating on him, fandom? Because we do see him smacking the shit out of himself later in this episode.
Yeah, because I think it was like in a preview or something where we see the actor like hitting himself, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's just Steve. But then later on in the episode, we learn like, oh shoot, that's like freaking Mark hitting himself there. So at this point, it just very well could just be. I don't think it is. It's just those orderlies is actually like hitting. Is it
You think
Mark
it's
or is
the
it Steve?
orderlies? You think
Yeah,
it's the orderlies doing it?
yeah.
How you feel about that, AK? What's up, Jake? I see you out there.
I think the way they project how we're supposed to see all of them changes with each personality. When that personality that was talking there about the making up fake fights and whatnots, when Mark and Steven come back from that bandage and all of the redness around his nose are gone. So that's meant to signify, and if you listen to him talk, you catch it real quick. That's Jake Lockley. That wasn't Mark or Steven there. The first thing
Oh,
Jake.
I hear a lot of people talking about Jake Lockley. I guess that's the one of the alter egos
Yeah,
from
you
the
keep calling him
comic.
Scotty. I don't know why you're calling him Scotty though.
Because that's what the security guard called him every time he left. So who the hell is Scotty?
Some random ass shit. I think that security guard worked for Harrow. He was probably just talking shit on purpose.
No, that security guard didn't work for Harrow. He worked for the museum, and he's the one that busted Steven and got him kicked out. And every time he left, he called him Scotty. And I think Scotty is the one who asked that the got the tour guide out and asked her out to the steakhouse. I'm guessing this is Scotty. I don't know nothing about no Jake. I don't read the comics. I just watch the show, and the show's telling me that that's Scotty.
Unless they've changed his name to Scotty, which I don't know why they would have. For overall, it wouldn't be the first slip up that the MCU has done. It might be something that just doesn't even amount to anything. But that's definitely, I'm going to stay firm that that was Jake. His whole accent changes to that weird ass, not quite New York City, New York accent. And he's a cab driver in New York. That's his persona. So, and he's the one that comes out swinging all the time.
Well, I'm with you 100%. It is a third persona, but like I said, I don't know anything about any Jake. I've only heard of Scott, but that's just coming from a TV show only point of view. What's up, fandom? Where are you sitting with this?
I thought I did say what. I thought it was the orderly.
No, I'm saying, do you think it's Scotty or do you think it's Jake Loxley? Like, who do you, or do you even think there is a?
Oh no, I still think it's Scotty. Ever since you mentioned it about the security guard, I think it's Scotty. That the show's like changing it up instead of saying Jake, because they don't want to make it like very too obvious for the comic book fans, and maybe just like red herring.
Keep them guessing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. And so, do you think when we see his nose bandage, do you think that's from when Mark punched Steven in the nose for messing with kissing his wife, or do you think that's from something else, or is it even real and it's just in Steven's mind?
I don't think it was when he punched his kissed his wife though.
You don't think it's from that?
No.
You think it's fresher than that, AK? You think it's from inside the hospital?
From the looks of it, yes. Like,
And you think it's
because
from
like, later on when we're looking at Mark and Steven again, we don't see that. We only see it specifically with that persona.
So where did he get it from?
Fighting with the orderlies.
Orderlies? You
I
think
mean,
it's from
those
the
orderlies. See that's why I said this is half actual real, half in weird ass broken mind of an assassin. Those orderlies have different personas, but they're definitely like the two, quote unquote henchmen that are always coming after Mark. So that's just how it's visualizing right now.
Or maybe, like you're saying, he's blending reality with what's going on in his mind, and he did just get in a fight. I mean, he was fighting all those people right before he got shot, so maybe that's like the reality blended in. Like but no, he had bandages on it, so it can't be from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It couldn't have been from anything that happened in previous episodes. The wound looks way too fresh.
Or yeah, his mind's like put bandages on it because it hurts because he did just get his nose broken in a real fight like right before he got shot. I don't know. I love the way they keep us guessing in this. It's amazing.
Yeah, good story.
But Harold tells Mark that he's having a battle within his own mind, something called the organizing principle, and it's a way for the mind to cope with a major tragedy that it's going through. And he says the person may see like a castle, which something Mark has seen, or like a library or a maze, or who knows, maybe even a museum fits in that category. Like, what's up? Was that whole museum thing just in his head, Phantom? All the scenes.
I don't think the museum was like in his head. That was just like the life that Steven lived, that he lived, really.
Think that all the museum scenes really happened, like that all went down?
Yep.
You think he really fought a jackal, or was that in his mind?
No, he really did fight a jackal, because Harold really did summon all that crap.
Feel it. Let me feel it. And then Mark says, or a psych ward, and Harold says, yes, or a psych ward. So didn't that just tell us that this is all just a dream made up in Mark's mind?
No. It told us that this again is still things from Mark's real life blending. And it's that mix of real and unreal that makes him really such a compelling character. He said specifically when him and Steven were talking about it, They're asking, why are we in what looks like a crazy ward? And Mark's like, because we're insane. He spent time there. That's probably the blueprint of the one that he was in as a child.
But I mean, Harrow said specifically that that's called the organizing principle, and that's a way for the mind to cope. So you don't think that's what's happening? You think Mark or Harrow's just like messing with his mind at this point?
It's
Because
not
in
just
previous
that.
episodes, they did show him that upper shore to an asylum. So for his mind to cope, it probably just like took him to an asylum.
And that's what happens in the duat. That's where they are. It's his journey right now to get to be balanced on the scales. So when it comes to the Egyptian gods and how their magic works, our minds can't really perceive shit the way it looks to them. So it would create those constructs to make it make sense, pretty much.
I like that because I mean, even the hippo said that the psych ward was a first for her. Like, haven't done this before.
Yeah,
And speaking of
that's what I'm saying. She explained all that to us. Yeah.
and speaking of first, wasn't that hippo a little inept for being a god? Like, was this her first? Was this her first day on the job, Phantom?
Nah, because it's just been a while. Because remember they said that the people have kind of like abandoned like the whole worshiping Egyptian god. So it's like, damn, it's kind of like been a while
She
since
said
like a
it's been a
soul
while.
since like a soul had been through here. So
Okay,
that's what it was like.
I like that. And there was an obvious change in Mark's demeanor while talking to Harrow. Like, I would guess that was Scotty or Jake, what you're saying, who came out and started raging when Harrow asked him about the little boy, like he was his little brother. So we see Scotty as like the true protector of all the personalities. Like, so is he the badass who's really been killing everybody there, AK?
Yep. Absolutely. Well, I mean, Mark's a mercenary, so he absolutely has his fair share of kills. But the ones that go against, Mark's own morale and his beliefs, that's Jake, because Jake don't give a fuck. He is a direct construct, I think, in production of all of the abuse that Mark's dad allowed to happen. So that's why he just kills for nothing and does not give a fuck. If you notice, when he was in the room with Harrow, the first thing his eyes are looking around for is a weapon. And as
Yeah,
soon as he sees that thing on the desk, he grabs it. He was looking
absolutely.
for the quickest way to fuck somebody up and get out.
That
And
was
also,
so
Mark's
wild.
dad ain't shit.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But so wild, the back and forth. Like poor Mark finally admitting that he's insane once he walked through those doors and seeing that he really is on a boat like going through the sands in the afterlife. Like for me personally, that would have proven my insanity in myself, not dismissed it. Like, what do you think about that fandom? Like, did that make you think he was crazy or really out there cruising through the sands in the afterlife?
Honestly, I thought that was gonna make him like what you just said. Okay, I am definitely crazy. I just like walk through these doors and I'm on this huge ass boat and a bunch of sand and we're just like riding. I'm like, okay, I really am insane. But it
Right?
didn't apparently.
No, that made him think that he's not insane for some reason, which I guess is insane in itself. So, yeah, that whole seems wild. And it almost felt like when they walked through the doors of the boat back into the hospital that it was Steven and Scotty, not Steven and Mark. Because Scotty was like all kinds of ready to kill that hippo. And also, like the first two memories they saw through the door when they came back through, they were in costume. And I think one was Scotty killing that jackal, and the second was Steven turning back time with Khonshu. I don't think either one of them were Mark. Like, what do you think about that, AK?
The one with what did you say? It's the turning back time. That was definitely Steven. That's how they played it. So I'm with that one. The first one I didn't think about. That's
Oh,
interesting. Would Jake or Scotty have come forward to some of the suit?
I think
And
so. I mean, I think so. The way
I
they
think there's a possibility for that because yeah, Mark was in and out of it way too much. So Jake was like, okay, Mark can't do this right now. Let me jump in before he actually does get us all killed.
well, when they
So
came
that's an interesting thought.
when Steven was sitting there rewatching the tape with the security guard, he was like, he looked, he's like, that's not me. And when it looked up, it didn't look like Mark either. Like, that looked like a third
Mm,
personality. His hair
you're
was all
right.
different. He was all rough looking. Like,
Yeah, the
that
look in
looked
his
like,
eyes was like, I will kill you right now.
yeah. So to me,
Yeah,
that was Scotty, or what you think, Jake?
good
That's
catch.
in my mind. So that's what I think happened there. And when they walked into that room with like the dead bodies, like they had like stone figures in front of them. So are we going to find out that all the people that Khonshu had Mark kill were avatars of other gods, like I was talking about last time, Brandon?
Well, I didn't think about it that way. I just knew that when moment they walked through that damn door, it was like a damn horror show. I was like freaking zombies or whatnot. I'm about to go right back out and not continue to even walk through that freaking horror. I'm
You
like, what
said,
the
let
hell
me
was
get you
this,
out of here.
man?
Yeah,
But
there's
I
too
didn't think
many
of them
people
as
in there.
past avatars though. At first glance, I just thought of them as people that Mark or even Scotty slash Jake has killed.
Oh
Purgatory is
man,
something completely different when it comes to the Duat. The Duat isn't purgatory. Not at all.
no, it's something different. It's just the Egyptian afterlife. Did they have a comic book about a guy in an asylum imagining being a superhero? Isn't that what Moon Knight is?
That's called Moon Knight.
I think, and I think they specifically, if I think I did see something that they did have a specific run about that specific thing. So yeah, I think I
Yeah,
did.
I think it's the
Maybe that's what he's
last
saying. Like
run
that's what he
of
did.
Moon Knight, and I heard it's one of the best ones. There's been
You would
several,
have
but
flicked
I've
one in
heard
the
that that
ear,
one's a good
Jay.
one.
Come on now.
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe Khonshu might just be having them kill all the avatars of other gods. I don't know. But that little tidbit of his dead brother drawing a fish with only one fin was a trip. So what was Mark going around buying goldfish and ripping off one of their fins in memory of his brother? Like the lady at the fish store said that they definitely don't sell them that way. So what's up with that, okay?
I don't think he ever actually did anything to the fish. I think it's just that weird morph of his mind that projected it that way.
You
It
think
had
so?
two
What?
fins, like the lady said, and look for him looking at it. It's those little things that they put in that you don't really catch until it actually becomes important.
All right, I like that. What about you, fandom? You believe that there really was never just a one fin fish in a tank?
There was no harm done to fish in the making of this TV series.
Gus is okay.
Indeed.
Oh man, hearing those little boys crying out for their mommy though was brutal. Like that tied in with his mom and how she treated him, but now we understand the trauma that caused Mark to snap. But, oh man, that was rough.
There's so much trauma there. And
Oh,
again, his dad ain't shit for allowing everything that his mom to do after is just horrible. There's some very interesting things though with his little brother. And again, MCU logic, I ain't seen the body. So I don't know. I think he might have just floated off somewhere, and he might become something else later. So I'm gonna say, in
oh
case
yeah,
potential
there
spoilers.
you go. She said more coming from the comments. I get the mother's grief, but to take it all out on your remaining son, like that was so brutal. Like I
Bro,
was literally saying
Yeah.
outside, I was saying out loud again, like this is a superhero comics. Like fandom, how are you feeling through that?
I'm allowed Disney allowed this to even happen, damn it.
I'm
But
saying
yeah,
though,
it was really in the fuse with this episode around that. I'm just like really like literally during like I believe I'm guessing that's the awake because I know it's like a Jewish culture where he was like going down the steps just
the
to like
Shiva.
Shiva,
participate, and she was like, "This is what are you doing here? This is your fault." I'm just like, really? He's a freaking kid, and you're all
brutal.
just blaming it on him? Like, come
Oh,
on now.
telling an 8-year-old it's all his fault, just nominee for worst mother of the year. It's awful.
You
Even
know
like for
what?
his what was it that his another birthday of his where her drunk just like sat down and it was like, "Oh, you were like always jealous. I should have known." Like,
His
come on,
12th
he's gonna eat
birthday.
some chocolate cake, and you're just gonna do that to him?
Can I just blow out a candle and make a
Like, bro,
wish?
I
I
ain't even
mean,
blown out my candles yet, bitch. Don't come over here with your drunk ass
oh,
with your damn wine. The fuck is wrong with you?
are
We've been
you
on this
kidding me?
shit, and I get her grief. I'm not dismissing it. I absolutely understand her grief. But that is not the coping mechanism that you want to fall into. And again, Mark's dad ain't fucking shit for allowing that nonsense to continue. You want to talk about, oh, she'll change, she'll change. You had how many years to help her change? And put her in a hospital to get her some good help. Nah, it took you losing your son for you to be on this bullshit. Uh-uh.
Exactly. I'm with you and with Mark. Like he told his dad he was supposed to
Fuck that.
fix this, and then asked like, "Why haven't you fixed this?" Like it looked to
Mm-hmm.
me like it's the mom that should have been committed to the mental institution, and the dad
Not him.
sacrificed his
Yep.
son's mental stability just to keep that broken spirit of a woman with him. I'm like, the sex couldn't have been that good, could it, Phantom?
I mean,
You are talking to the Cersei lover of the year. What kind of question is
Oh,
that?
I'm just like, come on, you gotta protect your boys. What's up? Oh man! And then Mark tackles Steven into the desert, like back to the place where this so-called story started. And Mark said that he tried to get everyone to safety, but didn't make it. Like, did Mark? Did one of Mark's personalities kill Layla's father? AK?
Did one of my. No. No. I think it happened exactly how he said it did.
I think it was the
Specifically
Bushman.
because that's a plot point that is directly from the comics.
plus I don't
Um,
think Conchu would have like have his like next avatar be an evil doer. Because that
Yeah.
would kind of go
Yeah.
against
He was
like his own
innocent.
code.
okay, I like that. I like that. Side note: is Layla just another one of Mark's personalities? Like they love the same books and the same poets, and Steven also lived in her neighborhood. Like, was that just all telling us that they're one and the same person?
I've been hearing that as a theory a lot in the fandom on YouTube.
Really?
I'm
I'm not
not.
alone.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks that have put that out there. I don't think it's true though, because you can't marry yourself. And the connections that we saw in the beginning of this, yeah, those connections were because of Layla. Like when they
Can
went to
if
go
you're
see
right.
Gaspard Gouliel's character, and also rest in peace, Gaspard. So sorry that you didn't get to see the end of this. But that wouldn't have happened unless Layla was an actual person that had that connection to get them there. We
Yeah, I'm
saw
with you,
people
Jake.
interacting with her.
I think that's exactly where he got his mental illness from. Is from his mother's side. I
Hmm.
mean, it's hereditary, and yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
It just took
But
one
I
big
don't.
thing to unlock that in her personality, I think.
But if I don't know, if Layla's just another personality, then like her father, the archaeologist, is also his father, and is that like how he knows so much about all the Egyptian lore? And like he did, I mean, did he kill his own dad as one of his own alter egos? Like maybe that's why he was going to kill himself right before Khonshu revealed himself, or maybe Khonshu is just another personality, which is what I think it is. I don't think Khonshu is real. I think it's just another one of Mark's personalities, and that's why he said, tell Mark to release me." Like I said, we all thought it was going to be him going assassin to go to this place to release him. But I think Mark's the alpha and has to release him from his own mind because Conchu is just another personality.
Stephen doesn't have access to the knowledge of how to get to Khonshu. And while we see, he starts to believe in himself and actually makes a very good connection between him and Mark later, I don't think he would have had the wherewithal then to be the one to go into action on mercenary stealth mode to go save the Egyptian god. It's that I don't see that happening. I
The
think he
Hippo
went to
guy,
get Mark because Mark needs to be the one to do it because he's the body. That's who the contract is really with.
I like that. The Hippo God says souls are being delivered before their time to the underworld, and like that was bad. So has Harrow already freed Amit fandom?
That's what I was thinking. Or time isn't linear, and all those previous souls that Hera has been killing throughout the series, even before then, is like now arriving. So it can be either or.
Okay,
That's an interesting thought.
yeah, I like
I
that.
like that. Yeah.
Even as Dr. Harrow looks like he's still like walking in sandals of glass, like, is this an illusion or real? Like, he's only gotten back to this room like while having mental breakdowns and arguing with himself. So, I mean, there's no way that's real, or is that just all in his mind, AK?
I I think some of the ways it's being spun and the way it's edited looks like it's meant for us to think that it's in his mind. I think it partially is. One theory that I heard, I can't remember if it was New Rock Stars or if it was Comics Explained, but someone of them was saying that. Damn it! I just lost the thought that quick.
Oh, you have me on the seat of my chair. What? Like, what did they say?
I know, no. Okay, wait. Ask the question again. It'll jog my memory.
Oh man, like I'm saying, when Harrow, when he's talking to Harrow, like, are those scenes just in his head, or is that really happening, or is that just part of the afterlife?
Oh,
Like,
oh, okay, yeah. All right, I got it back. Harrow technically has possession of the body in a physical form because his body's still laying in that water. It looked like he was floating someplace else. That was
Right.
just visualization for us. So they were thinking that Harrow has some type of magical agency to maybe like backdoor hack his brain to
Uh-huh.
go in and try to influence stuff.
Okay.
So
Like a J-Lo
I don't
movie.
know if that's true, but it would fit if that's what's actually happening.
So was Mark? Is if this is all in his head, was Mark just hitting himself because that's the only way to hit Steven?
See, that's the thing. There's no way for us to completely know that. We know everybody that we saw in there has significance, but I don't think
Harris,
he's really just in there fighting himself.
Harrow said he's been at this for hours. Like, is that how long he's been messing with Mark's mind out there in the desert, random?
Could be possible.
Good thought.
I think that's just what's happening. Like, he really does just have his body out there in the desert, and like he's just basically tweaking his mind, and he's going Inception on it, and he's inside his own mind.
Here's a question: why would he need to do that though? What else could he possibly need from Mark if he's already got Amit's avatar, and it seems
Access
like
to
he's
Khonshu,
already brought Amit back? Why would he want access to Khonshu though?
because to bring Khonshu back. I think they're going to tie it in where Khonshu and Amit are a thing, and they basically are just
Isn't that
having a
his
lover
sister?
spat, but
Oh
want to get
well,
back
I mean,
together. Ship
even
it.
if it was his sister,
I'm about to
the
say,
Egyptian
AK,
god
it's
said that. Yeah,
been.
there was some Targaryens out there. You're right. I remembered. My bad.
Absolutely.
My
I think
bad.
they're absolutely they're a thing, and they
That
want to
is
get back
highly
together.
possible. I think there's something going on with Horus, and also with what's the broad's name? Hathor. Something's going on there because there's no reason that Osiris's gate should be closed. There's something very sinister that we haven't been shown yet.
Oh,
They're giving
absolutely.
us all
Gods are
these
up to something.
distractions.
Yeah, those gods are up to something for sure. And while in the
Just the
doctor's office, we keep hearing that tick tock of a clock. Is that just Harrow's cane rocking back and forth while he's manipulating Mark's mind, family?
TikTok with a clock?
Yeah, you keep hearing like this tick tock, and it just makes me think like that's the kind of noise they showed when his cane was rocking back and forth when he was judging people.
Hmm.
Or maybe that's what we just hear is him judging a bunch of people, and that's why so many souls are coming
so
because
many of
now it's like
them.
Amit shooting, she's just blowing through people and knocking all the souls down. 'Cause I think I mean,
I like
basically,
where your head's at there.
if she's judging evil, then her thing is to basically get rid of all humans, because sooner or later, all humans are going to commit sin.
Everyone's gonna be gone. And how does she not want to kill her own avatar?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's fucking over a bunch of seemingly innocent people, or at least innocent until they actually do what the hell they did. Let's not do the Minority Report. That's never good for humans.
Imaginary
Imaginary
girlfriend.
girlfriend from Canada. Why
That's
Canada?
amazing.
Actually, did
Because
y'all
that's what
peep how
everybody
they
says.
did y'all peep how they made her up though? She has that same hairstyle and look that Evie O'Connell had in The Mummy.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
They've done
Oh,
side by sides of it. It looks pretty sweet.
yeah. No, you don't remember. That's like a famous line. Like, do you have any girlfriends outside the Niagara Falls area? I guess that's cool. That's why I said from Canada.
What movie is that?
Oh my God, let's go. Where's that from? Give me a second. I got to recall on that one. But that was a cool way to reveal that Mark was like the main personality and not Steven, and also that his mom was no longer alive. Like, I love the way they did all that.
Yeah, because I remember I was like questioning that for a couple episodes. Like, who was he talking to? Was it not the mother? And then I realized that's not the mother at all.
You zoom in on the phone and you see he's not on a call at all, and he never has been.
And Mark said their dad called about the mom Shiva, and he just couldn't do it. Do you think that's when he developed Scotty as a third personality fandom?
I'm not sure when exactly was the third one created though.
Because they ended up talking about how that was when the walls started coming down and their two personalities started blending together, Mark and Steven.
Seeing how I don't believe this series can be wrapped up in the next episode, we're getting a season 2.
Is
I
it
Right.
think
going
we're
to be
gonna find
wrapped
out
up?
the origin of the third persona within the next season. I think it's mainly within this first season, just focusing on Steve alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when we see when in the previous episode about that third sarcophagus, like, and then within this episode, it was able to be balanced the moment Steve was gone, because that's when Mark believed like that was like the only other persona like he created, but in reality, there's another one that he's just not known about.
Yeah, and that's down to exactly how DID um, works. A lot of times there's always one, sometimes even two personalities that remain hidden from all the other ones, and those personalities usually end up being the strongest physically and psychically. So that's why they can keep themselves hidden from the other personalities that should know they're there. But with Jake Scott, or Jotty, I'm gonna just call him Jotty. With Jotty, he's able to hide from everybody else because he has the wherewithal to do that.
When they were going down the hallway, I was waiting for a moment where they were gonna both say, "Oh, I don't remember this moment. Neither do I." And I don't think we
Right?
got
That'd be
that.
too easy.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, exactly. They're gonna keep us guessing. And
Too easy, but we've been like seeing it throughout almost every single episode that there's someone else there.
absolutely. And I think, I mean, that might be like an end scene. Hi, I'm Scotty. Like there might be a third. I don't know, like a third
I
person.
thought we were gonna get an after credit scene this episode, similar
Right?
to
I thought so
Loki
too.
when
I was
when
waiting for
Loki
that
got
shit.
prunes. We got to see that he was kind of alive, and then when Steve, entered those sands and it was become stone, whatever. I thought we was gonna get an after credit scene. They were like, nope. I'm guessing possibly next episode.
Also, if y'all didn't catch it, there was a comparison to Anna from Frozen because of the way Steven froze in the sands. It's the same scene when Anna gets frozen in the movie.
So I haven't seen part two.
Hand reaching out
Oh,
and all that.
oh, yep, I agree. A year is way too long, Jake. Way too long. Like we'll get that kind of moment in the finale. I too though, but how are they gonna have like 7 minutes at the end and not have an end credit scene? I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. I thought sure they were gonna have one in this one.
You know
Nope.
how? You know why they do that? Boner. That's why. Feige knows what the hell. He petty as shit. He knew we out here waiting for him.
Oh, probably. Steven was able to come to terms with his mother being dead, and like, so was he really always just talking to himself there, fandom, or was there somebody else? I mean, what was that? Just conversations going on inside his own mind?
He's just talking to himself. Even as that was happening the first time when he's actually talking to his mother, I believe. Like I'm literally like looking at the screen and it kind of looks like a Google map or something just there. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
he really is just talking to himself. And even
Yep.
Harrow, Dr. Harrow, when he actually had what was it, Dina or whatever, call the mother and like he doesn't even get to like pick up the phone. The realization just came to him as like a mother's death.
Absolutely, and probably
Yeah,
was
that's
Google's
where he
Maps
had to
because he
deal
said
with
he's
it.
always getting lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's talking to his mom, like, "Oh, I'm lost again." So he probably was Google mapping. With all the new revelations, the scales come close but never actually balance, and so now it's too late. And the sands are coming for their unbalanced souls. Like that was pretty heroic for Steven to sacrifice himself for Mark, but isn't that the way it kind of always has to end? Like otherwise, Mark's scale would never balance. Like he would forever be nuts and living like in an alter ego. Like, didn't Steven have to die, AK?
See, I question using the word die when it comes to Steven. He is a very prominent personality from Rick. I think we're seeing him again at some point. Probably not this season, but next season if they do that. Um, it's heartbreaking to see though. But it was interesting, when they were in that fight before he pulled over. Steven actually basically, he kind of leveled up his character because he realized, oh wait, we're the same person technically. If you can do this shit, so can I. And my
I can
boy
fight.
goes out there and starts playing cricket with the sand zombies, and he was winning. He
He
was
was.
legit winning for a sec, but he got. And it had to be that way, obviously, because now without that, the scales are balanced. And that again is why I think it was very significant that they left Jotty in his sarcophagus where he was. Mark's gonna need help now. It's not gonna be easy to get out of there, out of the freaking field of reeds or whatnot, or even to get back to the real world. But having that Jake personality there, that's gonna be what he has to use and partner up with, so to speak, to continue on and
Maybe
get
they didn't
Steven
want to
back.
confuse us. They just want
I
to have
don't think
only
it's
two
just that.
personalities at once. So basically get rid of Steven, and now you can bring in Scotty.
Exactly, and that's why the scales balance. Because if we'd have known about Jody already, the scales couldn't have balanced. Because they what happens with him? It's so weird and trippy, and I love every minute of it.
Basically ridiculous. The Moon Knight will always have multiple personalities. Of
I
course,
think that's a true
absolutely.
fact.
Making the Moon Knight. Oh, this show had us thinking it was Mark that had to go in for the. Basically, it was Mark that had to go for the scales to balance, but in the end, it was Steven who didn't belong. Like, how'd you feel about that, Phantom?
Yeah, pretty much. Because since like what episode 2 or 3ish, where Mark was like, "Oh, when all this is done, I'm gonna pretty much, quote unquote, vanish, and you can live your normal life." Then it turns out that no, it was actually Steve, who was actually not the alpha, and it was actually Mark.
Flip the script on us.
Hmm. But then when they went in that what is it, cafeteria or whatever, and you see all those dead people, then you see that little kid. It just shows us that he just never moved on from his little brother's death, and he's still like blaming himself. And that resulted, the creation of Steve, and he just had to just like go through that motion. Well, it really was not his fault. That he should stop blaming himself. That's when the thing
Yep.
just balanced.
Yep.
Do you think all those kills were Mark or were some of them Scotty's?
Bit of both. Bit of both.
Mm,
Because Mark
I
looked like
agree
he
with that.
was like, I remember that was Chicago, and that was so. Like he remembered it happening, but it wasn't really necessarily him that did the killing. That was kind of, I don't
Yeah,
know. That's kind of
they
where I
they
took
didn't
it.
give us a definite answer on that. So yeah, it's left open. It's highly possible.
And we then see Mark standing in the field of reeds, but it really didn't seem to be like the Eden he was told of. And also, like, again, how are they leaving 6 minutes at the end of these with no extra scenes? I was just
Mhm.
irritated all about that ending. Like, he's obviously not.
Actually, it'd be possible that Kanju actually could have created that third persona actually. And maybe that's another reason as to why he doesn't know of it.
All right, so let's get into some finale predictions. What's happening? So you think it's Conchu that might have made that happen?
Yeah, I think Kanju created Scotty.
Could
Hmm.
be, could be. What kind of finale predictions do you have, AK?
Um. Well, Layla's definitely gonna be back. I think Tawaret might get roped in, and maybe there might be a trap waiting for her through Osiris's gate. I think I actually know now that I'm thinking about it. I think I know what happened to Osiris and why he's not there, and that it's not for certain. It's just a thought. But with what's going on with Doctor Strange, pretty sure Osiris is dead because we
Wow.
do have a certain big bad coming into the MCU with Doctor Strange, and it's gonna be a whole lot of gods dying very very soon. Whole lot more, I guess. I think
Forward
Osiris
God
has
for sure.
already been got. Yeah,
That'd be
I think
crazy.
I think it was Gore, and that's why the gates are closed.
Huh, interesting. I think the person in that shaken sarcophagus is going to be Layla, and we're going to see that she really is just another personality of Mark. I think that's going to be the big crazy reveal that they're going to switch on him. We all think that it's Scotty or Jake, whatever, it's shaken in that sarcophagus waiting to get out. I think they're going to flip it, and we're going to find out it's Layla, and she's just a third personality. That'd be crazy. And then when Conchu told Steven to tell Mark to release him, like again, I think it's because Mark's the alpha and he was the only one that can free his own mind to let him out. And again, we're going to find out Conchu is yet again just another personality of Mark, and we're going to find out that he hasn't just had two personalities; he's had like five go through, and we've seen them all just from different aspects.
No, he's definitely has quite a few personalities, but no, I'm not gonna believe in that
He said,
tinfoil.
"Nope."
That's just way too outlandish. There's too many other things that are affected for everything with the Egyptian pantheon right now to be just figment of imagination.
So I don't know if that's all just going on inside the
I mean,
mind
because
of a
otherwise,
crazy
is
person.
everybody in the world suffering from DID and all this random shit is happening?
No, the world's going on how it is. This is all just going on inside Mark's mind. He's crazy inside a psych asylum, and this is all in his head. Like the rest of the world's moving on. This is all is happening inside his own mind.
I will question though, definitely for Chicago, which is where they're supposed to have grown up. There's no caves
Caves where his
to
brother's
even
going to be
really
able to
speak
drown
of
at.
in Chicago.
No, no,
That
I was
so I
born in
think
Chicago.
something
It's
else
not happening.
definitely happened, and if they do stick to the comics, I think there's a reason they didn't show us Roro's body. I think his body probably just floated off somewhere, whatever the hell was happening, and it's now being manipulated, mind and body, by someone else.
How about you, fandom? What else? What else are we going to see in the finale?
Khonshu better be free. That's one thing. If not, what was the whole point of that? If he's not gonna be free, unless we get season two. Like I'm saying, it's like if they don't, if I don't know if we're gonna get season two. If we're not gonna get season two, and this finale is gonna be cramped as hell.
Well, they show in one of the clips that we haven't seen yet of Khonshu and Harrow battling. So that I mean
Yeah,
that tells us that they're definitely going to be freeing Khonshu next episode.
So that's
No,
or that it could also be a flashback at the same time.
or it could be a flashback. That's two those two battling, but yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, this is all. I think that he really did die, basically, or he's kind of wavering at death at whatever when Layla's father died, and all this is just going on in his head. Like he went there, he was getting ready to kill himself. That's when he heard Khonshu's voice say, "What a waste," and all this. I think all that was just going on in his own mind, and he created another personality to save himself right there, so he didn't kill himself. And Khonshu is literally just another personality going on inside his head.
And then I'm curious
I
how he's gonna come back, and it's gonna be pretty much bullet holes in his chest.
that's the
Like,
that's why Khonshu's needed to heal the body,
but he's stoned, so it's like it's so much steps that they have to do,
which is
so they
why
can be a final battle.
Layla is going to come back into play.
Yeah, Layla's
Because
going to bust out and watch some cop.
we don't know how Mark is getting out of the field of reeds, and also why is that the like quintessential afterlife for Egyptians? That looks like the most boringest place in the world. There's like
Yeah,
not
each one
even
of
other
those.
people walking around.
Yeah, each one of those reefs must be like a world within itself that you can go into or whatever. There's some more. There has to be something more to it.
I can see
Absolutely.
that. See, that's some the pull between worlds Narnia type shit there. And I would explain because I know you haven't read those books, but it's an interesting parallel. Well, we can talk off air about that.
Great fight scene. Gods have a battle. Layla is real and is in love with me.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh
You were
my God,
doing
he's
so
just
well there,
silly stuff.
Jake.
Oh man. He's like, we find out DJ is wrong, and this is real. Could happen. I've been wrong before, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is a lot of this is going on in his mind. I think that Bushman guy killed him, and he's like just wavering in and out of life, bleeding out basically on the sand somewhere. We shall see. I can't wait to see how Harold goes in. But or yeah,
Well, I
he
think he
could
was already on the verge of death. It was just gonna take longer for him to bleed out, so that's why he went for the gun and said, "All right, now I don't got time for that bullshit. Let's go ahead and just check out now."
yeah, maybe. We shall see. Oh, so much to unpack in the next episode. Can't wait to see it and see how they try to tie all this in because that is going to be a huge landing to stick. We have so many ends to tie up. But I am
Yeah.
in for it. Can't wait to watch it tonight and come back and talk about it. You guys good to go and talk about it on Thursday? Will
Actually,
you watch
I
by then?
cannot. I
You can watch
cannot.
it by then. All right. Well, we will discuss it and get back at you. But I definitely want to thank you guys for coming in, tuning
Oh,
in.
and hold on.
Trivia.
What time would we be going on?
The same, 6.
Usual time. Okay, let me double check with who I'm streaming with on Thursday. With that one starting at 6, so I might actually be able to make it. If maybe we could start like 20 or 30 minutes later, but I'll double check and make sure. Yeah.
All right. Definitely. We'll stay tuned.
No,
Oh,
trivia.
we'll knock out a couple quick trivia ones real quick. If you know the answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comments down below. What's the name of the hospital Harrow tells Mark he's in? I thought
It's
that
the
was an easy one.
easiest ones, and we
Didn't you
never
pay
write
attention to?
down.
For fuck's
Oh,
sake.
I thought that was an
Starting
easy
off
one
with a
to start
miss
off with.
already. Fuck.
I thought we had an easy one right out of the gate. Yeah, look at that. I guess not. I guess not. No. All right. Well, if you know that one, write it down below. What was the hippo god's name?
Tawaret.
There you go. How did Mark's brother die?
Drowned, presumably.
There we
Allegedly.
go. Got him back on track. What is the name of the Egyptian afterworld?
The Dua. Well, it's actually the field of reeds if you're going one place, but it's something else if you're going the other way.
Correct and correct. Why was Mark discharged from the military? I'd be surprised if you get this one.
He went AWOL?
He went AWOL.
Oh, I'll give you that. That's close enough. He went AWOL in a fugue state. Basically, he got into one of his other. For anybody who wants to know a fugue state, he basically went blank, and basically that was another one of his personalities that took over. So he didn't even think he was in the army anymore, and he just bounced. So yeah, that's how he got discharged. While Mark was standing outside his mom's shiva, there was a store sign behind him. What was it?
What?
There was a store sign when he was standing outside his mom's shiva, and we were looking at him. There's one sign in the picture behind it. It was a store sign. What was it?
There was.
Oh, we can't have them all too easy.
Terrible.
Oh, and last but not least, what road did Steven say he was on while telling his dead mom on the phone he was lost again?
The side of the road?
What road did Steven say he was on? He was talking to his mom and he said he was on this road. What one is it? He named the road.
Oh, I know it started with an M.
Ooh, look at you.
That's
from
about
Chicago. It's a little easier once you know that. Oh man, if you know that answer, put it in the comments.
Chicago, yeah.
Write it down below.
You said that was your last one?
Uh-huh.
All right, I got a couple.
Flower store. He said flower store. That is incorrect. Arkham.
Arkham.
Abby. It was not Abby.
All right, what
Abby
are the
Rose.
3 places that Mark says he recognizes his marks from? When they walk into the cafeteria of dead people.
Oh, where were his people from?
Yeah.
God, I just said it too when I was talking about it.
Yeah, there's 3 places he says.
Was one Milwaukee?
No.
What did he say?
There's only one that's stateside.
Yeah.
No clue.
Philadelphia?
There's one in Africa and one in India.
Yeah, I don't even remember the third one. I do remember hearing the first 2, but I can't think of them. I thought about putting that. I was like, no, that's too hard. They don't know that. Then she brings it in. That's awesome.
All right. See, I wrote down a lot more than because I thought you would ask some extra things. Damn you.
Nope. I was trying to keep it a little light and easy. I only try to throw a couple like humdingers in there. Try to make them answerable for the most part.
Right.
Oh, what's Mark's mother's name?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I almost want to say Anna, but I know that's not it.
What's Mark's mother's name?
Who knows?
Because the dad said it that one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I just don't remember what he said.
Come on. Does it start with an A?
Nope.
Oh, thanks. I'm gonna go with Jake's answer, Abby. I keep getting Amelia or Amelie stuck in my head, but I don't think that's it.
What does Steven yell after he takes someone out?
Oh, 6?
Yep, because he prefers cricket.
Absolutely. That was funny.
What's his little?
Any other ones last ones out the door? I'm gonna do it.
What's his little brother's name?
Oh, Roro.
Roro.
Yes.
Oh, that's his nickname anyway.
Yeah.
His real name is something that Roro doesn't even really make sense with. Oh man, what is his brother's name? Yeah, I got a total mind block right now. Oh,
Like
just
I
tired.
was
It's
gonna
been
say
long.
Roland, but I don't think that's it.
No, it's not. Cause yeah, no, Roro makes sense for Roland. His Roro makes no sense with his real name. How is that his nickname? That was just lazy writing. I don't even remember how. Oh yeah, I remember it didn't make sense. Oh, but we'll check back into it and get back at it. And yeah, stay tuned. We'll let you know when we're going to get back on and be talking about the finale. Can't wait to see it and see how they wrap all this up. I want to thank everybody that's been coming on this journey with us. I hope everybody's having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next time. See you again.